Good morning. Ooh, I echo. Welcome to our Mandala universes. My name's Amy. I'm here with my chai and soon my breakfast, so you're gonna all have to bear with me while I eat. But I'm happy you're here. We gather every day at this time, which is 10 o'clock Central, and we spend 1/2 an hour together. We ground, we share readings, we draw, we connect with each other, and life is good. Laura is here and she says good morning, happy autumn solstice. Happy solstice indeed. It's official, summer is now over. Can you hear the geese? They're starting their journeys. Miss M says, geese. Yeah, geese. Did you hear their crash landing? Miss M says, morning Amy and Laura, happy solstice. I have in front of me Mary Oliver, Why I Wake Early, and I'm looking for a poem for us. So enjoy the cacophony of sounds that the geese are making. And if you have a check-in today with how you're feeling, please share. Ms. M sending across autumn leaves. There is a poem in here called Snow Geese, so we'll read about the snow geese on this autumn day. Elaine says, honk honk. Indeed. All right. So does anyone have check-in? I'm checking in feeling open. I feel open. We hit the road this morning. I mean, we've been on the road for a few days now, sort of. But I woke up at 7 and drove for 3 hours. And here we are, somewhere in the middle of Nebraska. North Platte, maybe? McLean says, good morning, where are you? So yeah, I told Marshall I'd drive the first couple hours as long as we could stop and I could leave Mandalas. So here we are. I found a park. Actually, Marshall found the park I was driving. Nice, manicured lawn park with playgrounds and geese and a pond and baseball fields. Pamela says, morning, happy turn of the wheel to autumn. Yeah. Ms. M says, Nebraska is just as long as Montana, it seems. I agree, it's kind of like the just drive all the way through it kind of feeling I get when I'm in it. Yeah, Miss M says, nice park. It is a nice park. It's nice that there are parks in this world. Really, really nice. And this one has a lot of geese. It's funny because I chose, there was 2 picnic tables. One was right next to the playground and there were some kids at it. And I was like, oh, I'll go over to this one. It'll be quieter. Not so sure about that. Michelina says, lovely park. Dave and I found a lovely park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and spent a nice hour or so there chilling out. Yeah, as someone who goes to a lot of parks just to stop, the space that they offer is rejuvenating. I mean, people tend to these parks, people care for these parks, people pay for these parks, and they do offer community space, individual space. They're great. Skyle's here and says sounds of nature are lovely. Yeah, I thought so. At least they might be loud, but they're natural. Unlike the train that I can also hear in the background. But hey, it's the world we live in, right? Pamela says Omaha is nice. They have great homemade ice cream place in that city. We drove through there kind of late last night, but I would have loved to have stopped for some ice cream. And Ms. M says the geese are so awake. Well, it's 10 o'clock, Miss M. These geese have been awake for hours now. All right. Speaking of geese, what I'm going to do is read my poem about snow geese. It's not my poem. It's Mary Oliver's poem. So, as we enter the first day of fall, autumn, there are changes abound, and they've been happening. It's not like a calendar day, right? The geese are starting to move south. The nights are getting cooler. The leaves are starting to drop. The light is changing. It doesn't go as high in the sun. All the things. So I'm gonna invite you to just settle in for a moment. And Cheryl says good morning and a quick hi. Hi, Cheryl. And Michelina is checking in too, so she's feeling concerned and needing to communicate. So checking in with your feelings and maybe a couple thoughts of what the change in seasons means. Yesterday, I watched the replay and Michelina spoke of a new moon, which brings and invites change. So I think it's a good time to reflect on that. Just breathing and relaxing and finding yourself comfortable in this moment. For me, I can feel the wind on my skin and blowing my hair. The winds of change. You can also feel the sun on my face. That combination of sun and breeze helps remind me I'm alive and I live in a world beyond my control. I'm just here to be a witness to all of the things around me, and I move through the world as best I see fit. Just breathing. Mary Oliver, Snow Geese. Oh, to love what is lovely and will not last. What a task to ask of anything or anyone. Yet it is ours, and not by the century or the year, but by the hours. One fall day I heard above me, and above the sing of the wind, a sound I did not know, and my look shot upward. It was a flock of snow geese, winging it faster than the ones we usually see, and being the color of snow, catching the sun. So they were, in part at least, golden. I held my breath, as we do sometimes to stop time when something wonderful has touched us, as with a match which is lit and bright but does not hurt in the common way, but delightfully, as if delight were the most serious thing you ever felt. The geese flew on. I have never seen them again. Maybe I will, someday, somewhere. Maybe I won't. It doesn't matter. What matters is that when I saw them as through the veil, secretly, joyfully, clearly. Wow. I think that poem is also about existing in a world beyond your control, with the reminder to just take it all in, be a witness to it, be an observer and a participant. Breathing in and out. Now I just want us to take 3 breaths together. So as you slightly bring more awareness to yourself and to your body, be prepared for an inhale, and on 3, 2, 1, let's take a collective inhale. Hold it at the top, and then release. And we'll do that 2 more times, holding at the bottom. Breathing in, holding, and releasing. Breathing in, hold, and release. All right. Grab a sip of tea or coffee and your notebook. And as I said, we ground, we draw, we gather. Draw mandalas. Yesterday I had a beautiful, inspired drawing from Michelina's words of wrapping golden ribbon around us from snow-covered mountains. It's got some shimmer to it. Some days they're just more abstract though. And yeah, just draw what you're feeling in the moment. Or maybe swirl in your coffee or whatever you feel like doing. And while we draw, I'm going to have to snag a couple bites of my food because once we're done, it's hitting the road again. Carol is here and says, "Hi, Amy and all." And Michelina says, "Thanks for the Mary Oliver poem. Her words are a salve for these times." They really are. And if I continue to lead, you're going to get a lot from Mary Oliver because it's the only book I have with me. Ms. M says, "I saw your ribbons yesterday." Yeah, you all tying ribbons to each other, to me, to others. It was beautiful. And Carol asks if I'm coming through Colorado. I am. I am heading through northern Colorado. We're hoping to make it outside of Steamboat Springs tonight and just check out Steamboat Springs tomorrow morning before we hit the road again. So it's a very quick visit through Colorado. As you know, I've got a destination to attend to in a few days, so not a lot of time. Ms. M says the light changes my morning. I mean, it does. And I was in a house, I've been in a house for a while, and my cousin, I slept at her house just super briefly, got there late, left the next day. But you follow the light when you're in a house, and that changes seasonally. I remember that in my former house too. I didn't spend much of my summers at all in my living room, but come winter, that was the room to be in. You had the best afternoon light. Today is Monday, September 22nd. One of my favorite numbers, 22 of 2025. And it is the first, I'm gonna write fall because of the alliteration, the first day of fall. Carol says, what's your destination? Lake Tahoe. Or, my destination tonight outside of Steamboat Springs? I don't know. Are you in northern Colorado? Pamela says, we used to have family reunions in Steamboat Springs. Great hiking there, nice memories. Yeah, I've heard great things about Steamboat Springs. Marshall and I go through lots of crazy ideas. And before we left Portland, we had one crazy idea to live in Steamboat Springs. Never been there. It sounded nice. Pamela says, it's my favorite number. And she was born on the 22nd. I recognized that when you recently celebrated your birthday. I was like, and your birthday's on the 22nd. Lucky. All right, I finally feel like I have my setup mostly in order. Time to put some pigment on paper. And Carol says Lake Tahoe, one of my favorite places. It's really a serene, beautiful place. I'm excited to go for a swim this January. Instead of a New Year's resolution, I decided to do a New Year's goal where it entails jumping or submerging myself in a body of water every month. And I have yet to do that for the month of September. So I have zero excuses to not get in to Lake Tahoe. And I imagine I'll have some companions with me as I make that plunge this year. Laura says she'll be with me. I cannot wait, my friend. And Michelina says I'll be jumping in for sure. Yeah, the beauty and joy that comes with collective cold dips and challenges and cleansing in water is so rejuvenating in so many ways. And Ms. M says, yes, I follow the light too. I'm grateful for the 22nd with hearts. Carol says, oof, I forgot what this weekend will be. Have fun, everyone. Please send pics. We shall, Carol. You will be with us in spirit, as will everyone who's ever joined in our Mandala universes, whether they are someone who sits in the background or watches replays or comments or attends retreats. You're all an important part of the circle, and you'll be with us. My phone is at 15%. I tried to charge it on my drive here, but I got the notification that was like, USB charger is wet, alert, alert. So I couldn't charge it. All this to say, I think I'm gonna make it through Mandalas. But if I do not, know that the reason why is my phone just shut off. And I apologize in advance if that happens. I am far away from the van right now to charge it. I cannot charge it. But we have 7 minutes left together. I guess I could keep my eye on it too. Let's see. Laura says, after this year and especially this past week, I will for sure need a cleansing dip. Oh, Laura, we will be with you all together, helping that cleansing dip rejuvenate you. Carol says, we'll miss being with you, always with you in spirit. Always. I know it will be a first time for many going to the retreat to see the beautiful Lake Tahoe, which sort of abstractly made its way into my drawing for the day. I'm just thinking about this practice and I know Michelina said yesterday what an impact it has had on her life, and I know it has changed me as well in my life. And I was just thinking of a very simple example is this morning, you know, I've got like 10 hours to drive today. And it'd be easy just to say, nope, I gotta keep on keeping on. We got miles to cover. And that's one way, but really just prioritizing this grounding practice and even creative practice for me, it changes your mindset, and it helps you think about things that are important in your life and how you act on them. I feel grateful for that. That it's okay even when pushing to stop, because life really isn't about pushing. Yeah, Michelina says prioritizing it. Yes, it's a declaration of sorts. Yeah, in the last couple days I've been with a large group of friends, and I've still made it happen. I haven't been 100% present. Like, I was sitting on the front porch with another friend, and I had one earbud with Jenny in and one earbud attuned to the world around me. But I think showing up is good for me. And let's see. Ms. M is sending Laura hugs, and Laura's sending them right back. Kathy says, hello, lovelies. And Carol says, Laura, this weekend will surround you in the healing power of sisterhood and love, sending from here as well. Those golden ribbons are convening in Tahoe, but they are continued to be sent from everywhere. And Laura says, thank you, Carol. And also, good morning, Kathy. And Michelina writes, Kathy, I hope your weekend was awesome. I hope so too. I don't remember what you were doing, but I hope it was awesome. Let's see, it is getting really hard to see. Ms. M says, silver ribbons today. And Kathy says, it was great. I got to soak it all up. I got to soak up all my hometown vibes. Oh, nice. That beautiful northern coast of Oregon. I can't wait to go back. Well, we have 1 minute. I don't know what happened to the last 7 minutes. They just fast forwarded in time. And the geese are back. I added some words to my mandala, and they say, willing to join together. So if anyone has words they want to share, I am happy to read them for us. Michelina says, mandala words, escape to the clouds for a moment. Oh, my beautiful. That's how I feel like mandala practice is. That's what we should change what we do every day. We escape to the clouds for 30 minutes. Pamela says, I am willing to connect to the unknown. Miss M says, thanks, Amy, and the fun chicken shirt. I love this chicken shirt. Elaine, soon I'll be there holding your chickens while wearing my chicken shirt, and all will be right in the world. Laura says, let love in, let it surround you. Miss M is sending honking party horns to go with the honking of the geese. It is now 10:31. I'm gonna give you all a big hug and send you on your way. And yeah, let love in, let it surround you. Until next time.